Hey, my name is Quays, and this is how I redid my study. So yeah, let's just say the thing was extremely cluttered. Like I wasn't happy. It was getting on me. It was weighing on my shoulders. It was too much. There was too much going on. Just I was uncomfortable all the time. Every time I walked in here, I sat down, tried to do anything. I just wasn't comfortable. And so eventually one day I was like, well, this has to change. We've got to go and fix it. Got to improve it. So one random somewhat day I was like, okay, stuff this, off we go. So went out shopping, and well, rather than me like explain to you how it works, I actually filmed most of it. So yeah, have a watch, see what you think. So as you've seen already, this is the clutter I was living in. It was awful, absolutely awful. So the first thing I did was basically gut the place. Get rid of everything. Well, in here I took out the desk, but I still had like everything sitting here because I didn't have spots to put it. As you can see, this is the little tiny desk which I used, which really wasn't that big or comfortable. It was actually really like squishy. So once the place was kind of gutted, wasn't fully gutted because I couldn't get rid of everything straight away. I needed a desk in place to like work in the meantime. So I just kind of like emptied it enough so that I could just think clearly, because I got rid of all the junk basically. It was just basically one big clean out, not really a gut. Once that was all done, I then put together this plan. And this plan hasn't been changed since the time I drew it up, and that was at like the beginning. Had all my ideas at the time, and it was honestly really accurate. I actually got it pretty close. As you can see from behind me, it's pretty similar to what like is shown on the plan. And then once I had this plan, I basically said, okay, cool, got this now. Let's go buy it all. And geez, that was a lot. It's here. Look at all of that. All of that is for one desk. There's one desk. I'm not joking. That was for one desk. And every single box was extremely heavy. So once I finally lugged it into the actual room, I then basically got to work and swapped it out. Took out the old desk, old system, everything like that. And as soon as that was gone, I basically grabbed everything out and just started building it up. And it was actually quite straightforward. Desky makes it really easy to put it all together. And it looked great in the end and worked really well. I absolutely love this desk. It is so good and it looks so nice. And yeah, pretty happy with this. Now, remember that I mentioned before that I had some work I needed to do, so I had to have like a desk set up to do bits and pieces. Well, that work is actually streaming. I stream like 2 or 3 times a week. And the day I built the desk, it was the day I needed to stream, or like the day after, something like that. So this is a while ago. But yeah, I basically built the desk. It was streaming day, didn't have a PC, which is a problem because you need a PC to stream. And my PC was in pieces, so it wasn't gonna happen. So rather than trying to just shove it all together on the desk and like get it all to work, which it never does first off, let's be real, I basically grabbed my laptop, hooked it up to, OBS, everything like that, and got it working, and basically streamed, making the monitor arms together, things like that, trying to get things done. And as you probably could have guessed, I got no work done. I was way too busy, like talking to people, interacting, like with chat messages, everything like that. I basically just walked around and stood around. As you can see in these videos I've been playing and that, it was not very productive whatsoever. But I had a lot of fun. I think everyone on the stream had a lot of fun, but I still had all the work to do still. So it was good. It was different, and I enjoyed it. The next big challenge was cable management, which it's actually really difficult, especially if you've got tons and tons of cables, which of course I do because, you know, like with any PC setup, you have more than just a power cable, a data cable, and like a keyboard and mouse. There's, you know, there's tons of there. Plus I'm a streamer, so like there's even more cables in there too. The hard part with this is that the desk only came with one cable tray. It's just by design, and that's over in that far like edge corner that you can see. And it meant that I couldn't run any of the cables in like a dedicated tray on that side of the desk where all the monitor arms were. So what I ended up doing is I ended up feeding the cables through the actual monitor like mounting systems. It actually made a pretty good cable tray, and everything's really quite neat and kind of tied up in there, which I'm quite happy with, to be honest, because I didn't really want to go look for another cable tray. So, you know, this will do, and I don't touch it very often anyway. And other than that, all the other areas, like this area that has like cables galore everywhere, all like in a tangled mess, that's hidden away so no one can see it. So if you look right now, it's a mess, but you have to like find it. So a lot of it's just a case of like running the cable. Can I hide it like in any way possible? If I can, do it. If I can't, well, find another option or get a longer cable, basically. That's all I had to go like do. And the hardest cable was this microphone, because the cable was not long enough to make it through this like arm system all the way to the computer, which is back over there. So I had to go get an extension. The problem is that if I got too long of an extension, the like signal would degrade over the cable. So I basically had to get one that was just long enough to get me there, but not over the top. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with all this, and look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm also going off to IKEA today to pick up a TV unit thing to go next to the desk just over here, just down behind where I'm like standing there, and also hopefully get something for this wall just over here. You know, possibly. I'm not sure if we're getting that just yet, but that's, you know, first time going to IKEA. This is going to be exciting. I've never been there before. All right, we'll see you when I get back. I do have to admit something. I haven't officially been to IKEA. When I say that, officially to me is like walking through all of IKEA. I didn't do any of that. I shopped online, I found what I wanted, I went straight to the warehouse. I didn't go through all of IKEA to see, like, find ideas and stuff. So I haven't been to IKEA, but I've been to IKEA, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll let you guys continue watching this. Well, the stuff from IKEA is here now, and that will be going over here. So this cabinet's going to have a TV on top of it, but it's also going to store my consoles so I can hook up to the TV to play games. But what I really wanted it for is I wanted to have like a little mini theater, because I enjoy watching movies or TV shows, that kind of thing, and I wanted a really comfortable and quiet space to sort of do that. And so because I had so much, like, I guess, room spare, because the desk only took up like half the wall, I thought, why not, you know, add this in and get sort of like best of both worlds. And the thing I like most about IKEA furniture is that it's actually mostly modular, which means that once you've got your base units like this cabinet, you can get these really, really sort of like simple inserts. This one that I'm putting in at the moment is a cupboard, or just a door really, and it turns it into a cupboard. And I also bought 2 sets of drawers as well to go on the like middle sections. So now rather than just having like 4 square unit things, I've got 2 cupboards and 4 drawers, which works out great because I can start storing some stuff in there, because I didn't actually factor much storage into this whole like study redo, but I've still got spare room in there, and it's just great to, you know, put anything in there that you need, and they're good sized as well, which is nice. Well, it's done. Oh, zoom down here. There we go. It's made. That took longer than I thought, and I did not realize I was gonna have to actually like drill into the thing as well. That's fine, because nothing's gone wrong, which is always a good thing. Now I just have all of this rubbish to clean up. Once I finished building the cabinet, I thought it's about time to start bring some more stuff back into the room of what was already in there, mostly because it was all stored in like other rooms in the house or in my bedroom, and all those rooms came cluttered. Obviously, there was more stuff in it that shouldn't be in there. And it was about time. Like, I had room, there was, free space, and everything was sort of like in its spot. So in these next few clips and that, you'll see that there's like stuff being slowly added in because I just took forever to do it because I had to sort through the stuff I didn't want and get rid of that. And I had to also work out what I wanted to keep. And basically, you had to find a home for it. So this is the current progress. The new cabinet here is in place. The TV has been ordered that's going on top of this, but I gotta wait until the end of the week to be able to get it delivered. This wall's still looking pretty empty at the moment, but that's only just for the time being. Over here, desk is looking pretty nice. Okay, it's a little bit messy because I've been using it, but yeah, certainly an upgrade to what it was before. Lots more room, and the best thing as well is that both these things match, and it feels like there's just a ton of space in this room now, which is all I've ever wanted in this room. Struggled to do it, but finally I've managed to find a way to get that to work. There was a number of times in this project where I hadn't actually worked out exactly how things were going to go, how things were going to fit. So there was a really, really big opportunity for things just to like be too big, too small, anything like that. Like, it just wouldn't work. But for some reason, things just started to work. And one of the things I need to show you is this speaker. This speaker is the like subwoofer for the soundbar that goes to the TV. And this thing's quite big. Like, it's, it's also a little bit of an eyesore. You don't really want to see it. And I was really, really worried that I couldn't find a spot for it. But turns out the space between the desk leg and this is the perfect size for the speaker. This is one of those moments where it was just kind of like meant to be. It just worked. I hadn't planned it, but the thing just fitted there. And I was so happy because I didn't have to get rid of this thing or like find a different spot for it. It just worked really, really well. And then the TV arrived. And it looks a little bit out of place, which is going to look out of place at the moment because there's nothing around it. But that's fine because this was more of just like a test to see how it was going to look in the room and also help me understand what I needed to put around it to make it look better. And that is where the shelves came in. I've got the TV in now. It's a little bit blocked at the moment because I'm actually in the progress of putting the shelves up. Now they're going up on this wall here, and there's going to be one above the TV just up there. And yeah, so I'll show you the whole TV when it's actually put together. Yeah, now I've got to build this big shelf, and those shelves will be put up. So there was a small change that I had to make to the original like plan or idea, and that was that I couldn't put two shelves on that back wall, as showing you here, because it wouldn't work in terms like height. I'm somewhat tallish, I guess, which meant that anything that gets put on the wall, I'm liable to hit my head on. And having a shelf above and below meant that I was going to constantly hit my head on the shelf below. So what I decided to do instead was put the second shelf over on top of the TV. So the TV would have two shelves there and there'd be one shelf here. And it actually turned out better than I originally thought. You ready? Look at that. That's the ladder shelf right there. So I'm going to put a few things on there, like the Stranger Things sign. Got a shelf up there to put some, some stuff. So we get a chair to go here. But that's looking good. And over on this side, look at that. Look how good that looks. Got two shelves right there. Slightly different to the plan. I was originally wanting to put two shelves up over here, but because I'll be walking there and sitting there, there was not going to be enough height. So next best thing, put them up the TV. Now that to me looks absolutely fantastic, and there is so much space here for doing anything and everything. So now that the shelves are in, it was time to bring everything that I once took out back into the study. And let's just say I had a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff to bring back in. I just covered the floor with everything. I had so much space until I brought it all back in. And it took me a while to go through it because a lot of it was just sort of like junk and I could throw out. But I hadn't sorted it until this point. So basically, I won't take you through the whole process of sourcing it because it took me a few days to go through it and work out what I want to keep, where I want to put other things. But at the end, it looked really, really good. There was still some things on the floor which had to be moved around that and like find homes for, but this was a somewhat finished state which I was happy with. And again, it looked good, and I'm happy with it. And honestly, it hasn't changed much. I mean, look behind me. Like everything's kind of like the same on the shelf over here. So yeah, after doing all the shelves and that, the last thing, which is probably the hardest thing that I had to try and look for, was the beanbag. So I got the beanbag. It's down there. Look how much foam filling there is. There's tons of it, and they're not light. Like, look, if I drop this, hang on, that's heavy. Look how much there is. It's 4 boxes worth of filling for that thing. That's insane. So other than the fact that the beanbag took a long time to fill and was actually really heavy at the end, it's really, really, really soft. It is so soft, so comfortable. And I think most of that is from the foam that's used, because usually beanbags use like little styrofoam bead things that you like just get like in massive like bagfuls. But this used like foam filling. So when you actually sit on it, it kind of like shapes around you, and it makes it just really comfortable and kind of like starts to hug you as well. And yeah, it's such a great like size and everything. It just fitted really, really well. So my final thoughts on how everything's gone, I think it's gone pretty well. Compared to what it was like to start with to what it is now, now is better. I much prefer now. I like the palette. It has tons of space, and like the most important thing, it's comfortable. And it being comfortable was the most important thing to begin with, is that I need to have a comfortable space to just do things in. So, and it's here. I'm so happy. It's all here. It's great. The other thing I want to do is I do want to put in like LED lights everywhere. I'm talking like on the shelf, that shelf, over at the TV over there, and it's going to be custom made. I want to make it custom made because then I can like be really detailed and like be very specific. So I couldn't get that done for like this video because it's going to take a long time to do that, and it's going to be quite complicated and have a lot of work involved. So that just puts this study at like a finalized state, not a finished state, but a finalized state, and that will the like lights will happen over time. But yeah, other than that, I hope you found it somewhat interesting to sort of see my thought process and how I've sort of approached this, because usually I plan the things out first and then I go and do it. But this time I thought, you know what, stuff it. I'm just going to go for it and I'll make it work. And hey, it worked. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.